Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com for Saturday, April 25th at Oaklawn Park again. Tom Leach and Jim Goodman here to take you through a card that features a couple of ungraded stakes races, but they probably really should be graded, might be, given the field they've stumbled into by the time next year's
maybe next year
grading announcements come along. So we're going to talk about the male stakes first, the Bachelor for 3-year-old boys, going 6 furlongs. You got Bob Baffert, who's always dangerous when he ships into Oaklawn, Jim, and he's got 8 rings in here. That's likely going to be the favorite, but the horse on the outside looks awfully dangerous, too. How do you see it?
Yeah, I saw this 2-horse race. 8 rings is got a lot of back class. He didn't run too well in Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Went off at 3-2, second choice. And Storm the Court won. That race did not come back very strong. Those horses haven't become good 3-year-olds, but obviously this horse has some issues, and Baffert brings him back in this spot and hadn't been out since November. But he won the American Pharoah by 6, a Grade 1 race at Santa Anita at this distance. And if he gets back to that, they're probably not going to beat him here. But there's a horse on the outside that Joe Telemo's riding called Long Weekend for Tom Amos. And this horse has won 2 straight, one at Sam Houston, which you don't think much about, won by 6.5, then came back and repeated it in the gazebo at Oaklawn and got a 95 buyer, about a 4 3/4 length win. So the horse went wire to wire, slowed him down, ran 109.3 for 6 furlongs. That's pretty quick in Oaklawn. So got a 95 buyer. So he's got a shot at being 8 rings, especially if 8 rings needs the race. And you would think Baffert wouldn't have him completely cranked for this one. He probably got his eyes on some other things down the road with him. Of course, he doesn't have any good 3-year-olds, so I'm sure he really needs this one. But Long Weekend, probably going to be 3-1, 7-2, and 8 rings is probably going to be 6-5. So if I'm taking a look at the race on a win bet, I'm probably going to take a shot with Long Weekend because Joe Telemo's tearing it up at Oaklawn. He made a great move coming from Santa Anita when he did. He's won 44 races there going into today, and he's just a great jock. He gets the most out of his mounts, and I think he's going to be very successful there and in Kentucky when we get to running again. So Talamo and Amos, I'll take a shot with Long Weekend, hoping 8 rings has a layoff problem and needs one race.
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything. There's only one other horse that I thought might be a little intriguing, and that's the 4 Ginobili, who, if you forgive his last race, which was at Oaklawn, then the previous effort, he was about 3/4 of a length behind Nadal, who came to Oaklawn and won the Rebel. And that's an awfully strong performance. So, good barn. If you can forgive the last race, you'll get a much better price on this horse than you probably would have with a strong run that last time out. So, that's the only other one that I thought you could take a look at. But I'm like you, I think a Long Weekend seems like the right win play because you'll get a better price. The 10th race is the Carousel, and they'll go 6 furlongs. This is fillies and mares 4 and up. And I thought this one was probably a 2-horse race. Bellafina is going to be the favorite, I would think. She certainly is on the morning line at like 8-5, a really strong favorite. And yet she never seems to run as well when she leaves California. And I think she's vulnerable. And I think Mia Mischief, the speed figures look light, but on her best day, she's run a number that would be good enough to win this. She's 5 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds at Oaklawn. She had a real easy win in the comebacker for Asmussen, and I think she's a mare with a lot of class, and I think she's can outrun what the speed figures look like if she's cranked, and I suspect she will be here off that last effort. And I think she can beat Bellafina and win the Carousel, and you might get, I don't think you'll get 9-2 like she's on the morning line, but you might get $7-8 out of somewhere in that range on a payoff on Mia Mischief. If you get more, great, because I think she's awfully tough in here. How about you?
Yeah, I think she's a real deal too. Bellafina is going to be the favorite just because of the connections. She's probably better in a little longer race, 7 furlongs and up. But she is a multiple Grade 1 winner. She's battling a layoff. She's not as good out of California. So there's a lot of reasons to go against a horse that's 8-5 in the morning line. And I think this race is a little more open than you do. I think Mia Mischief is probably going to be my choice. If she could run back to that Humana Distaff last year on Derby Day, or on Oaks Day. She ran a 99 buyer and beat Marley's Freedom that day. She's been consistent since then, and she's won twice in a row with 88 buyer figures. I think that one race over the track at Oaklawn gets her set up well for this. She's 3 for 5 lifetime, so Mia Mischief was be my pick here. But I'm also going to use a few more horses in here. I'm going to use the 3 Sunnydale. When we get to pick 4, 6-1 for Rosario and Hollendorfer. And Hollendorfer always does well shipping in here. 3 for 3 at Oaklawn. Has raced 3 times at Oaklawn, 3 6-furlong races, broke her maiden, then came back and won an allowance and an optional $50,000 allowance. The buyers are light compared to the classy mares in here, but Sunnydale's got a shot, I think. Amy's Challenge also loves Oaklawn. I'm taking 3 other horses that like Oaklawn. Amy's Challenge, the 6 horse, 4-1 loves Oaklawn, 3 to 4 lifetime. And then Midnight Fantasy, the 2 horse, may get overlooked in here from Martin Garcia and Joe Sharp. Came out and won first time out at Oaklawn. So the horses that have a race over the track, I think it's a competitive race. I would play Mia Mischief on top, but I think any of those other 4 can probably run second or third. So Mia Mischief is my pick. I'm going to go 5 deep in the pick 4.
This pick 4 starts in the 8th race with an allowance for fillies and mares 3 and up at 6 furlongs. Finishes with a maiden race for 3-year-olds and up, going a mile and a 16th. So let's take a look at your pick 4 ticket starting in race 8.
Okay, in race 8, I thought this one was wide open. Flat out speed. I've got a couple horses that ship in from Prairie Meadows and from Turf Paradise, and those aren't exactly places where you look for winners at Oaklawn. But I think that they really got a shot. The 1 and 2 Flat Out Speed and Lady of Luxury. Gonna be my long shots in here. Ready to Run Away with Talamo. Bye Bye Jay with Asmussen. Nomazar, the 5 for Diodoro, and Sneaking Out for Hollendorfer, the 4 horse, is my pick in here at 7-2. But I'm going to go 6 deep there: 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. Then in the Bachelor, I'm going to stick with the 2 horses we talked about: 8 Rings and Long Weekend. So 7, 9, and go 5 deep in the carousel with the horses that I mentioned: 1, 2, 3, 6, 8. Bellafina, Midnight Fantasy, Sunnydale, Amy's Challenge, and my top pick is Mia Mischief. In the final leg of pick 4, I'm going to go 2 deep, running out of money here, but I really feel strongly about 2 horses in this last leg, this maiden special weight. I really like Unrighteous for Rosario and Todd Fletcher. They thought enough of this colt to run him in a Tampa Bay Derby as a maiden. He had not broken his maiden at Gulfstream. He had run a really good second in a tune-up, and they put him in Tampa Bay Derby. He went off at 10-1, so a lot of people liked him there. He didn't run very well, but he was up against it. He comes back now in a maiden special weight. I think he's got a big shot at here. And if he's not ready or he doesn't like Oaklawn, then I'm going to take Copper King, who has raced 5 times at Oaklawn with 3 seconds, Asmussen and Santana. So Copper King, even though he's 0 for 9, he's got 4 seconds and 3/3. So he's been right there. Unrighteous would be my pick here if I had the single, so that's 1-4. So my pick 4 is 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9 with 7, 9 with 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 with 1, 4 for $60.
All right. I am going to play a $45 pick 4 that starts by going deep in the first leg. I'm like you. That's wide open. I think I have Lady Luxury on top, just taking a shot within the race that I might play her at 12-1 in the morning line. I think she's run against better, and it's the second off the layoff for Larry Jones, and he can certainly fire at good prices. So I thought she was dangerous in there, but I'm going 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 9. Flat Out Speed, Lady of Luxury, Sneaking Out, Hollendorfer and Rosario. The 5, Namazar, has 5 wins. So does the 8, Ready to Run Away. And the 9, Bye Bye Jay, just because it's Asmussen and has a nice win off the layoff. So 6 deep there. I'm going to throw Ginobili in on the Bachelor just in case if I could win with him, that would really eliminate a bunch of people in the pick 4. So I'm going to use 4, 7, and 9 in there, but I think it's really more 7 and 9. In the 10th race, the Carousel, because I want to go a little deeper in the last leg, I'm going to single Mia Mischief. I'm by no means think that's a cinch, but if I add another horse in there, if I add Bellafina, it costs me twice as much. It wouldn't pay that much, and I'm not high on Bellafina anyway. So I'm just going to take my stand with Mia Mischief And then I'm going to go 5 deep in the last leg. 1, 2, 4, 6, 11. Copper King is who I have on top. All About Will, just out of respect for Dallas Stewart. The horses run okay. I think Unrighteous certainly is very dangerous. And then I threw in the 6 and the 11, Aztec Empire. Moquette is hot and comes out of the Copper King race, as does the 11, On d'Oro. So just I thought that was a nice race for Copper King last time. Didn't quite get there. Caught maybe one that was a first-time starter that looked awfully impressive. So I'm just because these horses were not too far behind Copper King, I'm going to add them as well and go 5 deep. So $45 ticket for me, and I'm going to take my stand with Mia Mischief there in the carousel. It's, as we have said many times lately, really nice card at Oaklawn because there are not that many places running, so they're getting big fields, well-matched, and sometimes some good prices. So make sure you have your Keeneland Select account funded to take advantage of these opportunities that are coming your way. Of course, a week from to this weekend, a week from this Saturday, will be the Arkansas Derby, and that'll be our focus next week on the In the Money podcast from KeenelandSelect.com.